Oggy has a suite that interconnects to Gregor Townsend's room. You know that?
That's not true, is it? I hope
What-
that's
what-
true.
what-
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, of course it is. I believe you.
Punch pool in the middle. Yeah, it's great. This week's offload is brought to you in partnership with Owen Mitchell, the official legal partner of England Rugby. The Owen Mitchell Mentoring Club is developing a community of mentors to help young players navigate life's ups and downs through rugby. They're creating positive experiences for 35,000 teenagers, giving them the opportunity to develop both personally and within the game we all love. That's the human touch that matters to legal experts Owen Mitchell. If you could help inspire the next generation, search for the Owen Mitchell Mentoring Club on Facebook to join them. Hello and welcome to this week's RugbyPass Offload with me, Marc Edwards, joined as always by Glasgow Warriors captain and now immaculately tanned after a week in Dubai, Ryan Wilson, and Bristol Bears prop, Max Lahiff. And later on the show, we'll also have the mercurial, talismanic, and one of the best fly halves in the world, Finn Russell. First things first, Ryan, welcome back. How was the rest of your trip in Dubai?
Oh, it was lovely. It was lovely. I tell you, people look at my Instagram and go, oh, what a beautiful family, what a beautiful holiday. It's hard work with 4 kids. I'm not going to lie. They're pretty mental. But the flight back wasn't actually too bad. We were up early doors, landed, back home, and then the wee man was straight back into hospital. And operation for the little 3-month-old. Yeah, he just says you go. I know, mate. You couldn't write it. It was like really relaxed, lovely, get home. I'm loading the bags in the house. The missus is taking the baby to hospital. Been in there for about 3 days. So, yeah, just I need another one now.
Yeah. Just undone all that relaxation.
Yeah, I'll be honest, there wasn't much relaxation. There was a bit of drinking as well, which probably...
a bit of hedonism, was it? Very energetic hedonism, as you do in Dubai.
Yeah, but it was probably more a holiday for the kids, I'd say. I did manage to crash John Barclay's 15-year wedding anniversary at his 5-star hotel at the Anantara. Him and his missus last day turned up with 4 kids. He was like, oh no, Will, please. But you got to do it. He got a good deal. So I thought I'd go down there and try and hammer his all-inclusive. Turn up, it's not all-inclusive. He's half board, the tight ass. So I was in all sorts of bother. But it was good. It was good. And then he was actually on our flight on the way back as well. So I was trying to go down and see Uncle John. Go on, off you go. So it was lovely though. But yeah, all undone with the wee man. But he's all right. Don't worry, he's fine.
Well, look, Max, congrats first to you. You made it back to back wins, another bonus point victory against Worcester at the weekend. Do you guys feel like you're in the groove now?
Oh, I think so. I think we can. Well, we were still a little sloppy. We kind of broke them down in the second half, but I feel like there's a change in energy. That's for sure. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. Back to W's. Yeah, but that Worcester team, big old pack amongst those boys. Big old, and also I was playing against my old housemate Matt Garvey. Now this guy, the biggest child I've ever been. Like, this was my first taste of pro rugby. I was like a 19-year-old, moved in with this guy, just got out of St Mary's, so he was late into rugby, like pro rugby. St Mary's is a university of like, it's just absolute anarchy and chaos. And he was like head prankster. Right? It was like jackass in that house. You were just always anxious around Garvey. Anyway, in the game, the bloke, every breakdown was slapping me in the back of the head and untying my shoes. It was nightmarish. And I couldn't get a hand on him. He was just like Houdini. He was gone before I could get to him, which is so weird because he's like 125 kilos. Just a big old...
Plus that now.
Yeah, big old zombie warlord just getting around the place. I was like, fair play. He had a good game as well, actually.
Oh, you boys laughed at me a few weeks ago saying untying laces, mate. That's a go-to.
Mate, that's a thing. Yeah, I was like, look at that. I was like,
it's not violent. It's fucking annoying. Oh, I've got to tie my laces up again.
I just knew it was Garves as well. I was like, oh god.
When do you do it? Like, at what point are you?
Mate, just when you guys are like on like a kick chase breakdown or something, when they're like exiting and that guy's over the ball, you're sort of at guard. And then you just feel your laces just get, and you're like, and then you just look down and there's a bald cranium just leering at you. And you're just like, oh, for 5 snakes.
The other option is to just yank them and try and snap them. That's another one. Like, try and snap them, because then you are screwed. You're like, well, I can't even tie them up anymore. You're going into your next scrum, unable to tie your boots up. You've not brought someone with you. You're like, oh, God, here we go.
Oh yeah, that's I've never seen that before. You'd have to have a hell of a grip strength on you to pull up tear laces, wouldn't you?
I don't.
Yeah. Oh, not anymore. Yeah, look at those.
The fingers, mate. Never liked
Yeah.
sleeves.
That's what that's from, yanking laces.
Yeah, but man, it was a really fun game. Really enjoyed it. Good crack.
Delighted to have on the show the one, the only, the magician himself, one of the world's best fly halves, Racing Lions Scotland, number 10, and above all, an ex-teammate of Ryan Wilson's. It's Finn Russell. How are you doing, Finn?
I'm good, mate. Thanks. I'm good.
Before we get into analysing everything that's been going on with you lately and the big game at the weekend, just a quick one. You wrestled with the Aussie Waterboy and forwards coach Petrus du Plessis. What happened there?
I was trying to catch the ball as we were going to take a quick line out, obviously, or trying to, and then he was just getting in the way. So, no, I never saw him, and that's what happened. So, but now I was trying to get the ball. Hoggies say go quick, so he obviously had other ideas, and so did I.
You weren't at Glasgow, were you, when he came?
Nah, I think that was the year after me.
Because were the boys laughing at it? Because obviously he came to Glasgow after Finn left, I think, yeah, and then he ended up becoming the forwards coach, and then when Dave left, headed over there with him. He's also my ex-bandmate, mate. Leave him alone. He played bass in the band. Bom 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 bom. He just went out there. Yeah, mate, you were out of order. You actually pushed him over. He's an old bloke as well now. You pushed him over, the poor guy.
No, that's his fault. I'm trying to get the ball to go quickly. You can't interfere with the play.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Nah, I know. Yeah, I think Edgy wasn't best pleased, obviously. So Edgy was having a go. I didn't see this because it was straight back into the game, but the boys on the bench were having a laugh about Edgy, giving out to him or the officials or something.
Mate, he lost his head. He was screaming at him, going mad, absolutely going mental. This is the manager. What is it with these lot getting involved in the game the last few weeks, eh?
Oh, who knows? Just get caught up with it.
Finn, looked like it did get a bit spicy out there. There's a lot of chat between the two sides. Who was dishing it out the most?
A little bit, nothing too much. Nick White, he'd usually be one that would be given out, but because he played at Exeter, I think Hoggy and Sam Skinner, he didn't really say that much. And Hooper can usually get a bit fiery, but again, didn't really say that much, which is quite, doesn't really bother me if it goes like that. But I don't think they were as fiery as they usually can be. So that was probably quite good for us.
On your side, who tends to be the one who's leading that charge?
Wilson.
Mate, I'm far out there now, mate.
Is Xander Ferguson a bit spicy?
No.
Not really.
Just a moaner.
Really. Yeah.
Just
I don't know.
He's always in there though. He loves a bit of hand baggage.
Yeah, he gets into that stuff. I think especially at scrums and things. I don't know who'd be kind of the fiery ones.
Who's the most unhinged sort of weirdo in the Scotland team then? Like if you were like, oh my God, he's a bit tap, that bloke, just generally in life. Unorthodox, shall we say?
Unorthodox.
Other than yourself, you big head children.
Most boys are all right, I think. There's a few new boys I don't know that well. I've only done like a week training with them. There's a few boys from Glasgow. Blue Kinghorn, he can be a bit different.
Very strange.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he can be very strange. Yeah, Blue Kinghorn can be very strange. And I was saying in a good way, but he has his moments and you're just sort of looking, thinking, where does that come from? Or what are you doing?
I do worry about him and Hastings in the room together. That could get like, I don't know what goes on in that room when those boys are sharing.
Yeah, so we're back sharing rooms now for a couple of days a week. I've actually got my own room just now, which is quite good. But
sorry about that.
Delightful. Edgy put a message on the group saying with boys coming back in, anyone keen to share a room again? And no one replied to the message, so I think most boys got their own room now. Obviously, Hoggy's got his own room.
Of course, yeah, it's the suite.
I was sharing with Ali last week, and then our own room this week. I think it's a short turnaround. Just got our rooms the whole week.
Hoggy has a suite that interconnects to Gregor Townsend's room. You know that?
That's not true, is it? I
hope
that's true. Yeah, it is. I'm like, of course it is. I believe you.
Pool in the middle. Yeah, it's great. Hey, how do they decide who shares with who?
I don't know. When I first came in, I think it was all random, wasn't it, Wills? But then after a few years of it, I think they started just pairing boys up with each other. Like Ryan would always be with John Barclay, and then I tend to always go with Ali, and then was Hoggy and Greek together? I can't remember.
Hoggy and Greek, Lamont. Remember Hoggy and Lamont? That's Sean Lamont.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because Lamont used to torture him, absolutely like so horrible to him all the time. But it was like Mr. Nagy and his student, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what does Sean Lamont do? Like what?
I would like Hoggy would go to the toilet and Sean Lamont would get foot in. If you've seen the pictures of Sean Lamont naked, you'd know why.
I've yeah.
Climb into Hoggy's bed, bollock naked, and wait till he come back to bed and pull back the cover. You can actually hear it like 12 at night, the screaming coming from the room. Some coaches, though, they try and control it, don't they? Some coaches like try and go, right, we need to mix everyone. But you know that by the end of it, boys are going to the manager going, mate, I ain't sharing with him again. Get me with someone I like. So
fair enough. Finn, you guys managed to stop an incredibly informed Australia side. They're obviously 5 on the bounce. You boys confident going into the game?
Yeah, we're confident. Like, we know how tough it's going to be. It's going to be obviously another step up from this weekend, but we're confident. Like in the summer, we kind of showed how you can beat them, how you can play against them. So I think we've got the license this week to chuck it around, which is good. But yeah, now we're confident, but we know what lies ahead. I think the Australia game was like a good win, but we didn't actually take many of our chances. We probably could have scored a few more points, and at the same time, they got 1 or 2 tries disallowed potentially. So yeah, it wasn't our best performance, but wins a win at international rugby. So yeah, we're confident, but we know how tough it's going to be at the weekend.
You came up against James O'Connor in the battle of the silkiest fly halves out there. How did it go in your mind?
That was all right. I don't think it was kind of a stop-start game. Neither team really built phases up and got much going. So it's quite tough. I think he's not played that much this year either, so he might not be as sharp as he can be. So that obviously helped us. But no, it was good going up against him. Obviously testing myself against him. Caught up with a few of them after the game, which was good fun as well.
Would have been better to see against old Quay keeper, eh? That would have been a real couple of show-offs out there.
Yeah, that could have been good, eh? she heard that. I had to actually turn it on then.
You swapped jerseys after?
I swapped the Kurt Legill after.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah, so. But he only got on for like, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Got picked up as well. Got beautiful.
Every time we ran it back, just got picked up twice. I actually saw one of those clips yesterday. His face when he gets picked up, he just like almost gives up because he knows that he's done. He knows that he can't do anything.
What's your favourite like facet of the game? What edifies you the most about playing 10? Like which bits that draws you to playing rugby the way you do?
The defence, obviously.
Put in smoke and it hits it.
You say that though, Finn, you are.
He dabbles.
Man with the arms like the arms you've got on you, you make some bloody good old shots, son. I'll tell you that for sure.
Me and Rogston on the same gym programs.
Bloody right. You're bloody right.
I don't know what I like. I don't know. I like attacking. Obviously, I kind of create a game plan the whole week building up to the game, and sort of looking for certain moments, whether it's an offload or attacking inside, or whether it's like throwing a good pass to put someone through a space. I like that sort of stuff. I like kind of things that challenge me, whether it's like I say an offload or a tough pass. It's kind of right in the line. I've got to make it, like put it right in the money for it to come off, or like small chips over the top. So these things are almost, I suppose, a bit riskier. I like trying them in games and challenging myself to be able to execute these skills and put it right in the money for the boys.
Well, so now Ryan is, for the moment, no longer with the boys. Can you give us a bit of insight into taking his kind of position as the ringleader with the banter, the chancellor of chat, if you will?
I haven't self-proclaimed now. I haven't said that was me.
I don't worry. This is none of that's coming from Ryan. None of that is coming from Ryan, honestly.
I think, like you mentioned, like Blair and Adam Hastings, they're good to have around. They have their moments of being a bit different, but it's good crack. And no, it's a sort of different team. Like we're kind of just now. There's a few boys from Edinburgh and Glasgow, and the exiles who have come into the squad who haven't got many caps. So I think there's a sort of different environment in the squad just now, which is good. But yeah, Wilson obviously was one of the guys that always been in the team room, having a laugh, having a joke, albeit his jokes aren't that funny. But you'd try anyway. But I think it's just slightly different. I mean, but not in a bad way, not in a good way. I don't think it's got any better in terms of that sort of side of it. It's just a similar sort of rugby team kind of banter and atmosphere, which is good.
Did you boys have a beer after the game?
Yeah, we had a few. Obviously, it was a quick turnaround, so we didn't go too wild. Just back to the hotel and chilled out. Had a few in the hotel, and that was it. So we had meetings on Monday and recovery Monday morning and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Saving it for the Japan game.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to celebrate a big one against Japan. A quick one on who can handle their booze the best out of the boys?
Ollie Cable. He can handle it pretty well. I think Jamie Batty gave himself the name of Iron Gut a few years back, and then 30 minutes after he given himself that name, he was sick. So I have to put a question mark over that. And that was at Stirling County. I don't know. Like I said, there's quite a few new boys in the team, and the last couple of years it's been COVID, so we've not really had a night out, obviously. So
Keble can put some wine away, though, eh?
Yeah, he can give that a good go.
Jesus.
So pre-COVID, what's the best night out you've ever had after a victory with the Scottish boys?
I don't know. A lot of them. Maybe 2018 when we won the Calcutta Cup, we went to a bar and went straight out after it. And I think up here in Scotland after games, the city's packed and it's usually a good atmosphere. So it's always quite good going out to a few bars and stuff after the games up here in Scotland. So yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think who else have been out.
Was that the one with Grieg with his tie around his head?
Yeah, that was that one. That was a good night. Hair in his head when he ripped his buttons open, so that was funny.
Yeah, someone leaked that photo.
I think it's Emma, my girlfriend, put the video up, and then the next morning she was like, "Oh no, I feel so bad. Grieg's gonna hate me," and I was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. We won."
You're up against the world champion South Africa at the weekend. How are the boys feeling in the build-up? Are you guys confident that you can get the job done?
Yeah, because we had a good one at the weekend, but again it'll be different. So I think we're confident in ourselves and how we're going to go and play this game, which should be a good fun style of rugby and get the boys into the game. But at the same time, it's going to be so tough. We're going to have to take our chances whenever they give it. We might only get 2 or 3 chances in the game to score a try. So if we get that, we need to make sure we take it. And I think defensively and in the aerial battle, we have to be on top of our game. So it'll be tough, but we're confident.
You got a few boys that are going to be able to decipher their Afrikaans calls, haven't you?
Yeah, we will do. Yeah, a couple of boys who can do that for us.
Oh, what's he saying? What's he saying?
Well, we've had AB. Obviously, he's a new attack coach here, and he's South African, and so he knows quite a few of these boys. And obviously, in was it the rugby chat URC, they play against South African teams now, so we've got a better understanding. Obviously, having a few South African boys in camp, they know the players as individuals, so we can get a bit of an insight into their team.
Plus, you nearly tore them a new one that last Lions test, so they'll be panicking, mate. They'll be panicking.
I'm gonna have to get them strapped up maybe, so maybe a few shots coming in there, but yeah, we love it.
With that in mind, Finn, obviously, sadly, an injury keeping you out of selection for most of the Lions tour until that final test where you were amazing. How frustrating was the general feeling in camp that you guys weren't playing attacking rugby and perhaps falling into the Springboks trap?
Like I say, I was injured, so I didn't really get too frustrated about it as I wasn't playing. And then I think that the third test week we were saying we were going to play more and run it around a little bit more, which I'd felt was the way to try and take them on. But I think Gats he's got his sort of game plan, his strategy, which has obviously worked for him, and for many years. He's won a lot of titles and stuff. So I think we went in to try and take out their kicking game through our kicking game. However, in the third test, we went in with a slightly different mindset to try and play and run it against them. So that's going to help us this week, and we'll actually have trust in that, being able to play the ball against them, looking for offloads and looking to take them on from deep.
I mean, in hindsight, do you think you guys should have played more attacking rugby?
For me, yeah. But that's how I like to play. That's what I like to do. And I think as well, you've got to go kind of personnel, whether it's the forwards or backs and whatever it is. For me, I think that we could have played a little bit more attacking, but Gats, he's a great head coach and he knows the boys better than I do, and he can actually use potentially what's best. So yeah, I think it's tough. It's tough for me to say we should have played more because that's how I like to play. So it's different for every individual, and then the coach has got to decide the game plan on who he's picking.
Mate, if Finn had the choice of choosing a game plan, that's the one I want to go for. Chuck it about. A couple of crossfields. Easy as that.
I said that to Ali, something actually. Just chuck it to me as fast as you can and I'll do the rest. Just give me the ball and I'll do something with it.
Give me the ball, we'll win.
Just give me the ball and I'll do something.
Quick word. We just close the loop on the Lions. We've had a few of the guys already on the show who are on tour with you as well. But for you, who was the best person you met on that tour? For the social side, obviously.
Who's got on well? I got on well with actually with Jamie George, Johnny Hill, quite a few of the English boys got on really well with them. Johnny Hill and Jamie George weren't in the test squads. I knew there was after injury, so we had a good few rounds of golf and stuff. So yeah, I got on with them really well. I knew Marcus a little bit before it, and get on well with him. But to be honest, most of the boys were good guys, which helped a lot. Like I say, I wasn't playing for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, so I had a few socials with everyone, which was nice.
Leading the charge.
You mentioned Marcus Smith. A quick word on him and Owen Farrell. If you were Eddie Jones, how do you think they'd go together? Would you play them together, or would you be tempted to play Smith, Tuilagi and Slade?
I'd be tempted to play them both together. I think nowadays with the 50-22 rule, if you've got two playmakers and kickers at 10-12, and then obviously Slade at 13, left-footed, that's a lot of threats we've got there. If they want to actually play the ball, and if they want to have a crack from deep, then the opposition's always going to have to keep boys back there the whole time. So there's going to be space on the edges, and with Slade at 13, he can go round boys or put the kicks through. It just depends if they want to have Tuilagi at 12 to have a little bit more power if they need to. As well, obviously, Marc, if he comes off the bench, he can add that sort of X factor and can change the game. So it depends. I'd imagine it depends who they're playing and how they want to go. If they want to go strong on the bench and bring Marcus off to try and change the game up if they need to. Because if he came on and Faz are still at 12, then you can still play that kicking territorial game if they need to with 2 or 3 kickers there. So it could change week to week and depend on the game plan they've got.
Is that Marcus Smith pretty sure of himself, Finn? Is he going into the game? Because that's one thing I spoke about. I said to the boys, I would worry playing him with Owen Farrell. The stuff that I heard about Owen Farrell, telling people not to do this, don't do that, the way he's pretty overbearing on some guys. What that Marcus Smith hold himself enough to be like, no, same as you would. I'm doing this, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. He's obviously been at Harlequins and he's at the heart of everything. Just he's given that freedom to play what he wants to do, and he controls the team. So like you're saying, if there's maybe him and Faz at 10 and 12, it could be a bit of a clash. That if something goes wrong, it could be Faz kind of having a go, so you just need to kick that one, and then vice versa. That if you kick something, it could be on to go. But I don't know what Marcus is like when he's in the England environment. Obviously, he was there in the Lions, but he didn't get involved in the test stuff. But so it's slightly different how he's potentially coming across there. I'm not too sure how it would be. It could be they could clash, or they could work really well together. I'm not sure.
Have you ever had, thinking back, all three of you in your career, of two characters who clash but play very well together, but clearly are just not friends remotely, but somehow it works on the pitch?
I think myself and Greg would have been probably different players and different. Our personalities on the game would have been very different when I first came in. He'd have been a lot more kind of serious and focused in his own way. In comparison to me, he was a lot very chilled out, having a bit of fun on the pitch, kind of smiling, sort of having jokes. But I think when I came in to then play with Greg, I almost rubbed a little bit off on him in terms of that relaxed kind of just go with the flow sort of style. Albeit he would have his moments when he'd have a go at me, and we kind of got on really. We probably kind of enhanced each other, like me being very relaxed and him being kind of more talkative and kind of being strict on the boys. It probably worked quite well between us. You could say something different, Wilson. You might completely disagree with that, but
no, I do. I agree with that. I'm definitely, and everything around it, I suppose. Yeah, Greg was very serious before the games and stuff. Whereas but I think that's a lot. You see that in a lot of camps, don't you? But you're probably on the other end of the spectrum in terms of how relaxed you are. What is it? A club sandwich before every game? You still do it? Everyone's in the team room eating like the Mankey spaghetti bolognese at like 11 o'clock, and Finn's like, he's got the waiter on his finger like, club sandwich please, and chips and a can of Coke, and you're like, what a burger.
For the Lions, I was going club sandwiches. At the weekend, I just had 2 slices of toast with some beans, and that was it. It just depends what I fancy. I think before we played Toulouse last Sunday, it was 9 o'clock, and I just had a Five Guys at like 2 o'clock, and that was me for the game. So it just kind of depends on what I feel.
You'd be a nutritionist nightmare the way you've just said that, and there'll be kids all over the world going, yeah, but Finn Russell has a Five Guys before a game.
I think for me, like, you eat healthier and you eat what you need to during the week. So then when it comes to the game day, for me anyway, it's all about just feeling good, and I don't really like eating that much before a game. So I'll tend just to eat whatever I fancy.
Let's run it back to the just finish off with that line. So you obviously went then after that on a couple of glorious holidays to unwind. Ryan, continuously slating your dress sense and the amount of that you splash on items of clothing, flip-flops and the likes. When you look at all of your purchases, what would you say is your most expensive and also the one you regret the most?
My most expensive would be a watch that I bought when I got back from the Lions. So it's not clothing, but it's a watch.
It's an investment.
Yeah,
exactly.
Obviously, we will disclaim and say it's locked in a safe, guarded by robots in Paris. But what sort of thing did you go for?
Oh, it's a Patek Philippe, one of the notchless ones. So I just one of the jewellers up in Edinburgh sorted me out of Lang Jewellers. So I went into Paris last time, and they said it's a few years waiting list. So he managed to sort it out in a few months, which was nice of him. There's been a couple of things that I've bought, and then I bought actually a Tom Brown tracksuit, and then put it in the wash and the dry, and it shrunk. So I gave it to my brother.
How much is one of them?
I don't know. A few £100 maybe. No, I don't even know. I can't remember.
What? The one that you got some stick for is them the old B&Q cargo pants at the Monaco Grand Prix.
Oh, the Prada cargos, yeah.
You got a hammer for them, mate.
I know. I thought it was good though.
People are in like chinos and like jackets, and you're wearing the old B&Q cargo trousers.
Prada's got some good stuff out just now, actually.
A final one on the. I don't know if you saw the intruder who jumped on the pitch in the Wales game and stopped potentially Liam Williams scoring a try. If that was you were playing in Liam Williams' position at the time, how would you have dealt with it?
It's tough. I mean, everyone saw that guy Jarvo that did it in, was it the All Blacks game and in the Ireland game at the weekend, which is, it's a bit annoying that these guys are trying to take the spotlight, but he's not affecting the gameplay. That's a chance that Sanj is probably going to score that in the corner, which could then change the game. They might look back and be like, oh, if only we scored that try, there'd been a different outcome potentially, or then the game would have changed. The way South Africa and Wales would have both played would have been different. And I just, that's one thing, like I said, doing that before the game, before you have an impact on it, but especially at a moment like that in the game, it's like, why? Like you're there to watch the game, not to spoil it, So I don't think, I can't imagine he's the most popular guy in Wales just now.
Or at least
single most hated.
Quite rightly so, Yeah.
What's the point in getting on the pitch with your clothes on? If you're going to streak naked and go up the other end.
But I think, I think for a player as well, it's tough. And Sanj had that, it's probably a try that he's going to score, and then he's not scored it. He's been thrown off by that, and you're probably going to be a bit more frustrated the whole game, and that's going to be in the back of your mind. So it's not just that moment there that's going to affect you. It's going to be the next 5-10 minutes after, depending on the individual, how quickly they can get past that and get over it.
Mate, he didn't pick the best time to do it, did he?
No. Like,
he's a Welsh bloke as well, isn't he?
I know.
Yeah.
And he is Game of Thrones, shame. Like everyone wants him like up in hung, drawn and quartered, most hated guy in the country, everything.
Well, did you see him getting pelted with pints of beer?
Drinks.
Everyone's like free drinks, but he must have got about 8 pints right in his face as well.
Oh God.
Oh, what an idiot, eh?
Clown. Oh.
Finn, we know you got to head off, so thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Good luck this weekend. Good luck the rest of the autumn internationals and the rest of the year.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, Finn.
Cheers,
Boy.
boss.
Drive safe,
See you in
mate.
a bit. Cheers. See you in a bit, folks.
Take it easy.
So as Finn mentioned, or as we were talking about with Finn, the pitch invaders and all that, there's Garvey 69, who again managed to make his way onto the field for the anthems with the Japanese team this time. While his appearances don't affect play, can you put it alongside the idiot who stopped Wales from potentially winning a game? And they're both pitch invaders.
I reckon, without sensationalizing Jarvo 69, if it became like a habitual thing that people would go into the autumn internationals and streaking and stuff, or pitch invading, it sort of devalues the spectacle, because then it just makes it seem a bit sort of amateurish, doesn't it? When people are representing their country and stuff. But if you're talking about this case study between the guy who interfered with the Welsh play and stopped Sanjay from scoring and Jarvo 69 standing up with national anthems, then yeah, they're not comparable really, because one is directly influencing play and the other's just kind of benign. Do you know what I mean? That's how I see it anyway.
Finn nailed it, didn't he? He said, like you said, it's not affecting the play. What I want to know is, he's done it so, how is he getting away with it? One, right? And two, surely there's no repercussions from it if he's doing it every week. He's not getting banged up for it. Is he getting fined for it? Because maybe that's the way to stop it. Like, fine him. I mean, Max, you've seen the nick of some of these stewards that are trying to stop people getting on the field.
I know, man. It ain't happening.
Sometimes when you come off the pitch and you're sitting on the bench, you look down and you're like, easy, I'm getting past him. There's no chance any of those people will stop me getting on the field.
But did you see that geezer at the Forsyth bar? There was a guy who played like ATM or something. This was a while back, and he absolutely melted this geezer. It's somewhere. It's a Clark, but he used to play like semi-pro. Like Uso, just as one of the pitch stewards, absolutely cuts the bloke in half. It's class.
That's what you need. You need to fill the stewards with like UFC fighters / players that can actually stop people, rather than Larry
like,
from the pub who's like 8.
Slightly overweight middle-aged dudes who couldn't fight their way out of a plastic bag, let alone chase down a drunk guy with a bit of footwork. Yeah.
Then weirdly, it's quite entertaining when you're watching it, that you're watching like one guy who can run and everybody else who's running on with concrete shoes, it looks like.
Well, that bit is true. Have you seen the boots they wear? They can't give them steel toe caps. What are they for?
Caps,
They're
exactly.
They're not going to be able to run after anyone with those. You should give them boots. Give them pitch boots so they can run.
Give them proper,
Bikes. Sprinters.
Strap them up. I'm talking about like the full. Get physios in there. Get them strapped up. Give them some shoulder pads. Give them.
Yeah, they should have like for every like 3 people, the third person should be like an absolute weapon of man-hunting ability.
Yeah.
Just like a predator of Homo sapiens that could just like hunt a man down easily. You're right.
Couple of people with a trank dart somewhere.
But yeah, it's just beanbag shotgun.
Tasers. Get some tasers involved.
What a great brainstorming session that I'm sure all of the unions will be looking at right now, going, well, they've come up with all the ideas we need. Just shotgun or taser, you're fine. Let's go to that Wales-South Africa game. We're talking about it. South Africa managing to squeeze past the Welsh. Incredibly entertaining, hard-fought 18-15 victory for the Boks, which ended a run of 4 successive away defeats against the Welsh. Max, you surprised how strong Wales were?
Yeah, I was surprised by how close it was given last weekend, but man, they were awesome. Jenkins was class, the 6, unbelievable. Tane Basham by name, Basham by nature, like still just very, very haughty in the carrier. Yeah, no, I thought it was class. Dan Bigger obviously had a lot to do with it. It was a really good game all in all. Thought sensational stuff. I felt kind of bad for Wales. I thought they should have won it, but to be fair to the Springboks, they had so many of their players performed so well. Like Ebenezer had an unbelievable game. He was completely freakish. The Kanye who else was absolutely class? Most of the back row. Quagga Smith, mate, the best game I've ever seen him have.
Yeah, he was good one.
Mate, some commentator called him craggy faced. I felt so bad for him. It was just like, yeah, the craggy face 7. He just called you hanging, pal. That's just unbelievable. But yeah, he was unbelievable.
It was a proper test match, wasn't it?
Yeah, like it was very, very good. Great game.
You were almost surprised that the scoreline was so, because it was so intense that suddenly you came up for air, and actually there weren't that many points scored. But quick word, Ellis Jenkins, phenomenal after his first Test match in 3 years, particularly with that horrible injury. How impressed were you boys with him?
Yeah, he was good. He was all over the place. Like defensively, he's solid. Wales' defence as well was on point. Like that's what I mean. You look at these games and they're on a knife edge. They're to and fro. But yeah, he was sensational. To come back from an injury like that, after he's like wrecked his knee, didn't he? Properly wrecked his knee.
Yeah, probably.
Khaleesi gave him his Barbarians shirt that year, because it obviously happened in that game, and Khaleesi then went on to play for the Barbarians and then gave it to Ellis Jenkins, and he's remembered that moment ever since. So they're basically waxing lyrical about each other. So
a nice touch, little inside info
there. Talking of legendary people, just 53-meter conversion. I mean, the lad, how old is he now? Still good old Steyn.
I daren't say, because the amount of South Africans that get into us for slagging off South Africa.
He is the boy, though, isn't he? Oh, he is class, though. Absolute gunslinger as well. Just has a crack. He sort of plays with with serious attitude as well. There's quite a lot to like about him.
Easy kick though. Like he must have had the wind behind us.
The thing is, he's done it consistently for years, and it's not always attitude. He's just always nailing them, just slotting them.
37 boys, you got so much good. I've just been informed. 37, so many good years.
I've got loads of time left on the international scene.
Boys, half a decade left, Ryan. You can do whatever you want. Even more. Now, if you did have a 50 sort of meter odd conversion to win a game, quick hit list of your 3 players you'd want to take it.
Hey, I'm going to chuck my old mate Duncan Weir in there. I reckon he's got that. Duncan Weir, he wears the old school Preds as well. That's why he's like proper old school blade Preds. You know, the one with the big tongue. He's got a bit of cushion on there. He would slot that. Duncan Weir for me is number 1. Or one of them.
Steph Armitage. I might be joking, man. The guy was a freak show. No, this guy's an absolute freak. He just never got to showcase the skills, but he can kick, man.
Oh, no, he has showcased it in that game, in the playoff game, Biarritz versus Bayonne.
Oh, did he do it then? Well, yeah, he can slot them from miles out. No, he can bang it. Once he gets that big, robust, sturdy frame behind the ball, it sails. And I'd probably get Tommy Homer, class, absolute sniper. He can whack it.
Hoggy's got a big boot on him, to be fair. Stuart Hogg would have a good crack at that as well.
I love that. The top 3, anyone, past or present, and you guys are like, we've got Duncan Weir.
Going from my anecdotal experience.
Steph Armitage and Homer.
Otherwise, I just picked Francois Steyn, Elliot Daly, and who else? Who else is legendarily, absolutely sends it?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. I'm used
It's quite niche.
Gavin Hastings used to be able to smash them quite far, didn't he?
Boxes, he could smoke it.
Oh, yeah.
He punctured the ball, the big Frenchie. Yeah, those would be my actual 3 if I had to pick. But Steph is no joke, man. The guy's got, skills for days. And he is a big, old, explosive boy.
Well, so that's
I know, but woo! Yeah.
Quick one on South Africa's preparations for that match. If you didn't know, they were evacuated twice from the hotel that they were staying in on the eve of the game at 5 to 4 in the morning and then just after 7 a.m. Apparently, during the first alarm, they were on the street for 20 minutes surrounded by clubbers. Yeah, okay. Deliberate act of sabotage?
100%. Some Welshie's got intel. He's got in there, had a few beerios. He's like, I'm going to sort the boys out tonight. And he's just rung the bell.
100%.
100%.
It might not have come from the Welsh camp, but there is a Welsh man,
a patriot,
a Welsh man or woman. Right, boy,
100%. I've got to have a go at this. I'm going to sabotage these Bok. I am. He just had a boom.
Fuck me
See
up.
ya.
It's pretty easy to do. All you got to do is set the fire alarm off in your room, and the whole hotel's
done. Yeah.
I mean, we've had it before where people have had a steamy shower, and the steam, it's like clear on the thing. Make sure you shut the bathroom door before you have a hot shower, because the steam will set off the alarm, and boys have done it loads of times. I'm trying to think. I've definitely got other stories which I'm rattling the brain for, but without a doubt, Max, you bang on there.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is
with you. I'm with you.
sabotage. And how good though? Like 4 o'clock in the morning in Cardiff. Oh my! Can you imagine? The amount of people coming up?
It's just you're outside 10 Mill Lane. They're all queuing up for soda bar. It's getting weird. Oh, delightful! What a night out.
Or Karebs, Tiger, all firing out. Look over there, some South African team. Look, but
oh no,
place.
yeah, that would be carnage, eh? It would be the bit where you get back into bed and 7 o'clock, you're like, not again. I wouldn't have got out of bed.
Yeah, 100%. You just stay in there.
Again, bad advice, people. When you hear firearms evacuate,
get the hell out.
On this instant, I would be like, nah.
Something's fishy's up. Yeah.
Right, let's move to some more of the games that we need to go through. England versus Tonga. England without their captain and best friend of Ryan Wilson, captain Owen Farrell, who it now turns out didn't have COVID, destroyed Tonga by scoring 11 tries, 69-3. How much more exciting did we think England were without Farrell, Max?
Was it just a false positive, was it?
I don't know, George. I think that was it. But now Joe Marler's actually got it, and
this is a better. Ryan, I don't know if you've heard this. No COVID for Farrell, but huge news out of the England camp. Joe Marler out with COVID, and we're obviously assuming they've put the backlight up for you, Max. Have you responded to the call yet?
No, that's surely Mako, especially now that Ben Obano's out. It'll be Mako Vunipola back in.
I don't think so.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'll get in there, boys. Represent the offload. Let's go.
We just get some really crudely drawn up stash really quick, just in the cap. And
I would look, But no, George Furbank at 10 though. I ain't seen him play 10 before. That was out there, wasn't it? Maybe he was trying to wrap up Marcus Smith and in bubble wrapping. Just you don't want some of those Tongan boys running down the 10 channel at pace. But I thought Furbank was good. Like the attack was purring, but I thought it was generally the whole game was class to watch. Even Tonga looked a lot like more proficient than previous weekend, and there were some glorious collisions. My God, there was some good stuff.
Quick one on Marcus Smith. He came on. He just looks amazing every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, he looks sharp, doesn't he? He's again, not a great Tongan defence, and by then they're absolutely blowing out the hoops. But he is just cutting the hoop open, finds those little holes. God, I'd love to be a 10. It looks so easy. It makes it look so easy. Not as good as Finn, but
looks so easy. Yeah, fair. Taking it to the line when you're that size as well. Just the sheer gall of the man. Yeah, I don't know. He is gifted, absolutely. Should be teaching at Hogwarts. A magical player.
He does look like a competitor, though. Eh? Like you said it before.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Just
it's like 50 points to 6 or something, and he scores a try. It's like 55, and he's like, yeah. You're like, whoa, easy. Like by then you're like, oh, right, scored another try. But he is absolutely frothing, from scoring. So,
the Patriot, for sure.
Get him out there. You want to see him involved this week, so hopefully that'll be good to see.
Max, quick word on a man that I don't think any of us would want to scrum against, Ben Tomafuna.
That was a great contest, by the way, between him and Genji. Very good scrummaging. Like, I thought Tamafuna had the upper hand for a bit, but obviously Genji was leaving some impressions, and some Tongan defenders, he was a handful. But Ben Tamafuna is a different athlete. We're talking about 145 clicks.
Yeah,
very dynamic.
Athlete's a bit too far, mate. I don't know.
Oh my God, no, seriously, bro, I'm not joking. Watch some old I know he got to France.
I know when he back playing for the Chiefs, he had a little less. Didn't he?
But I think the Chiefs knew how to manage him well. They were like, yeah, you just sit on this half of the field, get through it, and then we'll sort of sub you then this point. But I think when he got to France, the pan of chocolat, etc., got the best of him, and he got a bit bigger. But mate, there's no denying that guy's a freak show in terms of force generation. Like the fact that he plays so much rugby, even at such ridiculous weights, shifting that anatomy around is an unbelievable feat of strength. But yeah,
what do you do against someone like that in the scrum mode? Panic.
Yeah, no, you just panic. You're like, oh God, I'm gonna be crumpled here. And if he wants to go in the gap, he can go in the gap. You're like leaning, just trying to get as much as you can out of your spine as your cervical like column just crumbles under his immense Tongan pedigree. It
Just
would
looking
just
back
be a
at your second
nightmare.
rows. Give me more, boys.
Yeah.
Give me more.
You're like, lads, I'm gonna need everything you got there, Courtney. Every bit of lean you got, because we're up against it.
I hate when you front rows do that. Turn around.
Yeah.
I need more. Well, we're pushing. We're bloody pushing.
I need more lean, lads. What do you think you got, Captain? Yeah, it's like Star Trek Enterprise back here. Yeah, and you're just slapping the back rows on the schnot. Oh, Jesus.
Who's the scariest prop you've ever come up against?
Like scariest? So the most aggressive, genuinely, is probably Genji. Like, he loves like really visceral sledging. I'm going to put you on rollerblades, kid. And he's like, it's like up in your mush at every break. It's quite fun. It is good crack. And I think it's like his way of getting into games. He loves that kind of emotional investment. He's quite fearsome. But I remember when I was coming up, Brian Majati, like when he was in his pomp, that was always a nightmare. You were just like, what's he going to do to me now? It was just a full-on one-way like traffic. And he was very mysterious and silent. You could never get anything out of him in a game. So you go, oh, this guy's serious. Tavita Tamapo of Worcester back in the day, the test tube prop, like fresh Tongan, didn't say a word, just mute. And you were just like, oh my God, here we go. Yeah, those three stick out for me a lot.
Yeah, Max, that's one thing I've often thought, because like I like a bit of sledging, right? But when you get up there, it's actually quite an awkward, because I've looked and thought, because I sometimes, if I'm on the flank,
Yeah.
I'll be trying to get into the props. Like, oh mate, you're in trouble here. You're going backwards. I did it recently to he was playing one of the South African teams, du Plessis, and I was like, look how old he is. Look at the state of him. Like first scrum, like what is he? Nearly 40. I'm going, look at the state of this bloke, boys. We've got him on toast, and he absolutely hammered us. And he's like, old, yeah, look at me, man. And I was like, all right, you're still old, but
you reared him up.
Right, well done. It's quite an awkward place to be because you're face to face looking at each other.
Yeah, it's the most like competitive area, isn't it? It's quite primitive. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you aware that right? If I give him some stick here and he shoves my head up my arse, I'm going to look like an idiot, or is that why? Is that why there's not that much chat going on?
I'm not like a big like I'm gonna give it the big and be like this. I'm sort of like maybe here and there, just giving it a bit of like funny chat, because it's like a nice into the game where you're both just having a crack at each other. Like for example with Genji, like he's flying into you, you just give him a bit back. You know what I mean? That's good. It's good fun, but he's like on a different level. Sometimes it's like whoa, but like. I don't know. Yeah, you're going to look like an idiot if you get your pants pulled down after you've been given the biggin. But I never really give it the biggin like, I'm about to run this scrum right through your inside shoulder, big fella, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm more like...
I love that.
I'm more like, it's about to it's time for some clanging and banging, mauling and brawling, fellas. Let's go.
I bet a few people are like, whoa, what's going on with this bloke here?
Yeah,
like,
no.
If they don't know you, they're like,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's some free one. Like Joe Marler says some funny stuff. His is more funny than like I'm out here to like completely intimidate you.
Yeah, but see, that's it. If someone comes in like jovial and jokey, I'm going to be like, right, we're all right here. He's not. Whereas if they came out, my approach would be like snotting and frothing, like
just full like, rabid dog. Yeah.
Oh no, this bloke's
lost it.
Yeah, it's an interesting little battle up there. I do wonder what goes on. Like, it's a horrible place to be. I'll tell you, if I played in front row, I wouldn't play rugby. Yeah,
it can get gnarly. I'll give you that, big fella.
Quickly get a quick prediction from you guys for the England-Australia game.
Whoa! Talking about predictions.
Yeah, I owe you some money. Oh
Let's
God!
Not forget about this.
I got all my predictions wrong. That was absolute garbage.
Yes, we don't promote gambling, but Max, you do owe 20 bells.
Yeah, you owe me a score, mate. You can give it on our works night out.
And Jack owes you as well, by the way. So remember that.
I'll get him to Monzo it over.
Monzo. Yeah.
You do it in 3 installments, mate. Wait.
All right. So who we got? first.
Give us
predictions.
what talk to us, Mark. Who do you want first?
Let's go England, Australia.
This is a tough one, man. I'm going to go with England by 7.
Yeah, I reckon I'm agreeing. I'm going close. I reckon England, by about 4 or 5. So I'm in agreement there.
Quick one. Quick one. Scotland versus South Africa.
Oh, that's a tough one as well. These are all toughies.
I'd hate to say it, but I'm not that confident against South Africa. I'll be honest. I think they're their pack. At times, Scotland struggled a little bit against Australia in the scrum, and that's where South Africa.
They ain't gonna get the upper hand in the scrum against South Africa.
So,
all right, yeah,
they're pretty dominant there, and then they're a dangerous team up front. You've seen what they did at the weekend to Wales right at the end. They're more absolutely battering them. That's my only concern. I'm obviously going to go with Scotland. I'm just saying, I'm worried.
I'm South Africa by 3.
Yeah, so I'm not putting a bet on this one, but I'm never going against my boys. I'm going Scotland by 2. I hope they win. I bloody hope they win. Right,
let's move on quickly to Ireland versus Japan. Defying quite a lot of the predictions that we had last week.
We absolutely got that one wrong.
60 points to 5.
Oh my God.
Took us all a bit by surprise.
I don't think anyone saw that, did they?
No, it weirdly shows us how far Japan have come in our thinking, but then also reminding us that it wasn't that long ago that they were getting humped by people. So, where did it? Let's start with. They've been knocking on the door of the top teams in World Rugby. They did get absolutely hammered at the weekend by Ireland. Where did it go wrong for them?
I'll be honest. I didn't watch the game. I didn't have time to watch that one. But like the team, the Japanese team, is it a massively different team to what they've been putting out before? Is it a similar team? Do you have a clue, Max?
No, I'm not really. I'm not sure, but I know that.
Your host.
No, Johnny Sexton absolutely tore up the old form books. He was unbelievable, and then like the Irish back row was class. Like what's his Jack Conan, unbelievable game. Tyg Furlong was on flames. He had a knock on. He did spill one, but yeah, the set piece was on in charge, like really good. And they put Porter at loosehead from and put Keane on the bench, which is pretty nutty. I thought, but I guess they want Porter on the field with Tyg. But yeah, I think Ireland also played out their skins. James Lowe had like a good game as well. Have like much media hate he was getting from the Irish press, because of his last like few games, but he was very good.
A bit lazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but man, I think they all just played out their skins, to be fair.
Yeah, but it can't have been all
just that. Yeah,
I have seen some of the stuff from the game, and you're right, like Sexton just coming out the back of some of those little pods and then just putting people away. They did look good, but yeah, Japan. Come on, like I thought more of them, and it is a shame, isn't it, to see them get absolutely hosed like that. So it'll be interesting to know whether that was we should probably know
Luke,
a rugby pod show who like the team, but. Have they put out a bomb squad? No, I doubt it.
No, they wouldn't put out a bomb squad against Ireland, no.
That's what I mean. So how have they just...
They had a lot of the normal names that you associate in the backs. They had a lot of the guys that you remember, Ryan, stuff that were there. But and sadly, that's all the time we've got left for now. As always, please like and subscribe to the show. Thank you, as always, to Max, to Ryan, and to Finn Russell. And we'll see you all next week.
Bye.